Oh, baseball time.
Right under the web.
You know, my son has to start baseball later this year. I don't know why.
Sure.
Do tryouts. I know they said they couldn't start till after the varsity's done or something. I don't, yeah, something like that. I was like, okay. Not in here? Or is it just me?
It's you because you're running.
Not in here.
What's the one that makes the words? No captions, no.
A couple things.
All right. 7:30, March 12th, 13th, 12th, 2024. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Good evening, everyone. Glad to have you. We got a heavy agenda today, so bear with us and we'll get through it. All right, Keelman.
Here.
Dudek.
Here.
Christie here. Duncan.
Here.
And Berenger. That's everyone. All here. All right, we have no invitees, so comments from the community for items not on the agenda.
I'd like to talk. Is Tracy there today?
I'm kind of scared because
Yes, he is. Can you hear me?
Hey, Brent.
Can you hear me?
Yes, Bruce.
Okay. Go ahead.
Is Tracy here today?
He is.
Okay. So my name is Karen. I spoke to Tracy a couple times on the phone, and I was at the last board meeting and I expressed my concern with the board on how rude he is and how he doesn't even let a resident speak before he talks. It's just very sad that I have found out, to the board. I'm writing this to bring to your attention about Tracy. It's come to my knowledge that he lied to me as a resident here in Columbus Township. He told me he went over to 2215 Kroner Road, and as he was driving up the driveway, it was too long of a driveway and he did not want to get shot or something happened to him in that long driveway, so he left. He proceeded to call me and tell me he saw no cows and no new buildings, because guess what? He didn't, because he never got out of his car. So Tracy lied, and we pay him to lie. So this behavior not only reflects poorly on the individuals up that are sitting right there and his boss, but also damages the reputation of the city that we live in. I urge you to investigate this matter properly and take necessary actions to address the misconduct and maintain trust and transparency with our community, because he blatantly lied to me. And then on the BSA, the first complaint was on 115. Well, he closed it out saying no violations found because he never went to look. He had to go have Bruce look with him. And lo and behold, guess what? There were violations found. I think like maybe a class or something about how to interact with other people or how to talk to people and how to approach people would help him possibly. Like, I'm not really sure what else to do. Like, that's his job. His job, I filed a complaint. His job was to go over there and follow up on the complaint, and he lied blatantly to me that he did it.
Is that it?
And then I did talk to Joe Tangari today.
Okay.
I talked to Joe Tangari today regarding the ordinances, and Brent, I talked to you last time, Brent, right? I talked to you.
Yes.
Okay, I talked to you last time and I explained the whole like word of continuous, and he understood more where I was coming from today. when I talked to him. He's like, he didn't understand how, like, he's like, oh, the cows aren't going over there to eat hay. I'm like, well, if they cross the road. So Joe Tangeri did not understand that. So I did tell him that I was planning on going to the next planning commission meeting, whenever that is, because he even said that after talking to him today for about 20 minutes, that he thinks the ordinance needs to be rewritten for zoning regulations and for animals. So the ordinance is written there, it has to be a continuous 20 acres. It can't be 5 acres here, 10 there, 7 here, 6 there, 2 there.
And he said that was his opinion?
Yes, and he said he was gonna talk to you more about it. Yep, I just talked to him today. He just called me at 3:02 today.
Okay, well, I mean, for the record, that wasn't his opinion the other day. I guess we'll, take it up. with
Joe,
the
Joe's
planning-
opinion? You're
Excuse me?
saying Joe?
Joe,
Okay, I thought you were saying Brett. That's why I'm like,
no.
he's right there.
I
So I
guess,
guess you'll
I
be
guess
taking that up with the planning commission then?
yes, I am. I just need to know all the details on how to, who I need to contact with that, to go to the meeting and all that.
Well, anyone's allowed to attend because it's an open meeting.
Right, I don't know when they are, where they're at, anything like that.
First Tuesday of the month at 7 o'clock,
Right there?
correct?
Okay. But I just want to know, how we are gonna go about Tracy as the ordinance officer and him lying and him not doing what he's supposed to do. And I mean, the day that I got off the phone with him and he told me there's no cows back there, Karen, I put on my boots and walked all the way to the back and took a picture of over 20 cows, so.
Well, I mean, we're not gonna deal with it right this second at a meeting, but, apparently we're gonna have to talk about it.
Right, like you're, at this point, Bruce, like the reputation of the city and the damages he's doing to the residents because he's so rude to them is very, very appalling, I think.
I got your point. Is that it?
Sure.
All right, thank you. I have a whole room full of people. So thank you for your time. Is there somebody else that would like to speak?
Hello, everybody. It's been a while.
Rob? Right?
All right, so Carrie, hear you loud and clear. I just want everybody to know that I am running for Columbus Township Supervisor and I have a number of friends that are gonna be running for trustee. So
Can you not do
there are a
that?
lot of issues that are,
You can't legally do that.
I can't what?
Legally,
You
Um,
can't campaign.
you can't
in the
campaign
building.
I
in the
can't even
town.
tell people publicly that I'm
Not,
running.
not in the. public.
Not in the public.
No.
Not here.
Oh, I
Yeah,
get that.
it's
So,
very, yeah,
okay. All
very.
right, my
strict.
apologies. Anyways, I wanted to ask you a question on finances for the township. What are we or are we not allowed to have access to? Like if I request the financials for the township, is that an open book sort of thing? Or is that
Everything.
Everything?
Yeah, as long as
Okay.
it doesn't deal with like names and personal people's information, you know, you're welcome to everything. Yep,
Okay,
Yep.
all right, I said you need to about that.
okay, Yep.
Appreciate it.
Yep.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Anybody else? Yep, there.
I have a question about cemetery. I know it's on your list though, so you want to wait till then or can I speak for
Go ahead.
Kitteridge Cemetery? I know you do a spring cleanup every year.
Mhm,
There is a tree on the far east side along the fence you just put up.
mhm.
It's gonna come over. It's gonna come onto my home, my property. Not asking you to take the tree down, but maybe we take out top 50 feet of it.
Actually, we're waiting on a bid right now from our tree guy
Johnny,
to take down some trees and clean that place up, to look at the dangerous ones and
yeah,
get it taken care of.
that's all my concern is just, there's actually two that are right next to one another that they are concerning.
I don't doubt that. It looks terrible over there and we've had, I thought we would have the estimates in by tonight so that we could get it going. And we haven't.
Should I check back next month to see if we've made any progress?
Sure, yeah.
you
can
could
check.
always leave your
Yeah,
name and
put it
number on my
anytime.
phone too, you know?
I mean,
Yeah.
feel free to call me anytime.
Yeah.
Talk to me about anything.
And we could let you know, like, if the trees that you're referring to are on the quote and everything, you know?
Thank you very much.
I know that there's a general idea of what it's gonna cost.
Yeah,
I
And he may also need, I can grant him access to my side, because he's gonna need.
Yeah, I'm sure he,
Yeah,
if he
it's-
takes that one down, for sure he will.
Yes, and I can talk to John and Jason Hable and see, you know, if they need access and what day they wanna do it. But thank you.
All right, so, yeah, you'll need to leave your information with us.
Absolutely.
You can write it down for me before you go, that would be great.
Good.
Anybody else want to speak? All right. Seeing none, we'll move on from here. So would somebody like to open the public hearing on the 24-25 fiscal year budget?
I'll make a motion to open the hearing.
I'll support. Excuse me? Of what? I did. I'll check this weekend if somebody wants.
You know, I thought of it
I thought Mike
today.
was going to tell you the truth.
Oh, really? I thought of it today and I'm like, oh,
If he had me send him the agenda.
okay. Brett, did you second it? Were you the
No,
second?
no.
You're
Still need
the
to do
first?
that.
Okay, sorry.
Okay. Berenger,
Or are we voting to approve it?
Are you here?
we're opening the public hearing.
What am I saying yes to?
Did you say yes?
Yes.
Gilman?
Yes.
Christie, yes. Dudek,
Yes,
Duncan,
Yeah, we're here.
okay. So we're open for public comment on this year's budget. If there's none, we can entertain a motion to close the public hearing.
Make a motion to close.
Also work.
And I couldn't find it either. It's
I know
somewhere.
it's there. I
It's way
looked
back
at
there.
it.
Way back.
Dudek,
yes,
Christie, yes. Gilman,
Yes.
Duncan,
Yes.
Berenger,
Yes.
good. Communications. I finally got a hold of somebody from Mercury Broadband. And,
Yeah, I wanted to look at the map better.
so the big thing is that they're basically saying they're not gonna do anything until 28. You see, it takes time and a lot of capital to build broadband networks. We have until 12/31/28 to complete it. So
What did the yellow
Yeah.
and the
That's
given
green?
this, Columbus Township is not on the schedule. All right, so.
Are we the yellow or the green? What is, do you know what this
I
represents?
do know.
Okay,
All right, the yellow represents, bouncing off the towers.
Okay.
What do they call that?
sign,
We can't see.
sign of light
We-
or?
Satellite.
We have no color.
Sight,
Oh.
sight or something?
All right, the darker part is green.
Here, here, you can see
Okay?
it right here. I know, I was thinking that.
The
too.
darker part is
Interesting.
green, that's where they're gonna lay fiber. And then the yellow part, which would be the lighter part to you, is where they're going to have towers with Wi-Fi. And the huge green, light green area, nothing. That's their plan. That's their plan,
Basically,
and we're not even on the horizon.
basically, over half of the township's getting nothing.
A lot of the south
Right,
is not. But they did say, even though that's what they're doing, they will, it doesn't mean that's it. They did say that they would go beyond that, right? That's what I read, or where I read it. But we will certainly get to it as we move north to south within the county.
Yeah, because they're in the north
Where
part of
was
the
it?
county working right now. And however much money they have, they're gonna work their way south and try to get to everybody, so. Hopefully they still have money when they get here.
Okay, it says our actual network designs and footprints will cover more than just the mandatory census block addresses. So it says that we'll do actually more than that.
When they get to it.
Exactly.
I
On top
would
of
have
it.
got to it last year or the year before. All right, so there's also this thing called BEAD grants for broadband. I don't know if anybody's heard of that, but it was part of the infrastructure bill from Joe Biden and, Michigan got a big chunk of that money, like $4 billion. And there's a group called it's Michigan High-Speed Internet. And, I just got done with a meeting with them. And, anybody should go on the MyHigh website and put in your information about what kind of Wi-Fi you have right now, whatever your internet is right now, because they're trying to build a map of how to build out, and internet service providers, when they finally come out with their final map, the internet service providers are going to be able to bid on those jobs to build out those areas. And so, the better picture they have of what's actually going on in our township, the better.
They could use that same one we did.
I'm going to upload our study to them.
Okay.
Because we did send a thing, we did have a paper out, you
Right.
know, of,
And
hey,
every-
do the survey.
And everything depends on internet service providers. So it's not, we're never gonna get any money. It's, you know, Duke Broadband or 123.net or Comcast or, you know, whoever happens to be a provider that gets the bid. And then they'll build out. And, there's criteria on the website for, if you're underserved or counted as not served or counted as well served.
Isn't that what we
I
did
don't-
last time too?
Yeah, I don't think, well, but any person that adds on there
Right.
could potentially help the picture.
Yeah, I think, because we sent that postcard out and you could do it like 5 times from your house.
Right, and that's all in our study,
Yeah,
but I don't think everybody did the study.
Well,
There's probably a lot of people that didn't do it.
What was the name of that site, Bruce?
My house,
MyHigh.
yep.
And then the Mercury broadband, are they proposing 5G or is that point to point wireless?
Part of it's point to point and part of it's 5G.
we just.
So they're only gonna do the northern half of the township and maybe the northern third of the township, actually. And then there's spotty of the wireless.
Yeah, you got cable out here and then you got broadband from Memphis, from the tower, I think, but that's about the best you can get if you're not near the highway.
Yeah, we're pretty much underserved. When we did the study, we came back way underserved for the amount of houses that got like 20 up speed and 3 down speed. And very few of them had up to 100 up speed, and that's not even counted as well served. They're talking 1 gig or better as well served, and there's not a spot in this township that has that. So anyhow, that portal, between now and the 25th, you can sign up in that portal. And then after the 25th, you can, input your information and hopefully, help them make a better map so that the money gets distributed correctly. So that's where we're at with broadband. I'm working on it every month. It's really hard to deal with those people because they're always talking about giving money, but they haven't let any go yet. Okay, approval of agenda.
Ed, I'll make a motion to approve the agenda as submitted.
I'll support.
Okay, Christie, yes. Duncan,
Yes.
Berenger,
Yes.
Dudek,
Yes.
Gilman,
Yes.
carried. Approval of the minutes from the 23rd, from the February 13th, 2024 meeting. I have no question.
You guys are all good? I'll make a motion to approve the minutes as presented.
Gilman,
Yes.
Dudek,
Yes.
Christie, yes. Duncan,
Yes.
Berenger. Carried. Treasurer report.
And I also included the,
Tax dispersal.
yes, thank you. Tell that I'm all done with tax, but I'm like. But no, how it's all distributed throughout, so. I know there was a lot of comments going on that we get all the money when we don't.
We have a copy of this right out in the hall if anybody's interested.
Yeah, I think I may have put some out there too, but yeah, there should be other places, but yeah. And also, you made the comment last time, Bruce, about like the accounts, like you were confused about the balances and everything. If you look at the back of the pooled bank account for the reconciliation report, it does split it up, and I checked it. And the only, it was like 400 off because there was 2 credit cards that didn't, it was at the end of the year. So if you add them together right here, you'll see like on this, these
Yep.
should add up what's on the pool, the bank statement. So,
All right, good
yep,
deal.
yep. I know there's a lot of information, but I did double check that. So I was like, oh, good, it matches.
So am I understanding this right, that the building department lost money?
Am I on that paper? Hold on. Works, liquor, garbage, building.
Maybe for the month it may have.
So the activity for 229, that was just for that month.
Okay.
That's just for the month. So yes, for last month, yes, money, because we had like no activity
But
for,
overall,
Yeah,
you know,
overall, it's not.
but the overall, that's for the available of how much was left. So the percentage used, I would have to look at the expense report like for that one.
I'm so slow, I feel like we're.
It's been very slow. Yes, so when it comes down, we negative 1848, so there's just a deficit there, it's really close. So 74,000 for revenue and then 76,000, you know, a little more for expenses,
So we're running just about even.
practically, yeah.
Any other questions on the treasurer report? Make the motion to file.
I'll make a motion to file.
Support.
Yes. Duncan,
Yes,
Dudek,
Yes.
Berenger,
Yes.
Gilman,
Yes.
Gary. Okay, check register and budget adjustments. We're doing the budget adjustments first.
okay. The first one is just what we approved last month, so I put it in the system.
That's the 10,850.
Correct. And then after that, so there was just 2 minor ones. One was for, the street lights went over. So only $110, you know, so it's the end of the year, it is what it is, so. And then the cemetery, it's just for opening and closing you know, it doesn't show the money received in that account, you know, of course, because it's separated per revenue and expense, but it was just to pay out, a burial they did, so. You know, we just had a lot of expense in there anyways from the trees and all that. We used up that budget a lot. But we shouldn't be expecting any more because that was like the last one for the month, so. That's why I didn't go above and beyond at all.
And then these are the backup for them.
And that's just the backup to show like, okay, this is the one that went over budget for the DTE, and then this was the, for Dan's lawn service, that was the burial, yeah,
You'll spell it out in the minutes of what it went to.
yep.
Your motion to approve the budget adjustment?
I'll make a motion to approve the budget adjustments.
I'll support.
Right, so I'm just gonna write to approve and you're gonna spell it out in the minutes, correct?
Yep.
Berenger,
Yes.
Duncan,
Yes.
Christie, yes, Dudek,
Yes.
Gilman,
Yes.
motion carried. Ordinance report, nope, I'm sorry,
Separate.
check register.
All right.
So. I had a question about, couple of questions. $637.48 for, 21st Century Publishing,
That's the
Wow.
Board of Review,
but I didn't find a paper in here.
oh, there's, oh, there wasn't an
I
invoice.
didn't find one. I went back through it twice. I could have missed it. I didn't
You
think
have to
so.
put it in, I would say, because that's the Board of Review notice and the budget notice has,
Oh, yeah, for the fiscal year,
Yeah.
yeah.
Other thing is. So you send a copy of that, right?
I'll
tomorrow or
send you a
something?
copy, yeah. Must. I'll say like give me a break, it was election, that was either right
No,
before,
it says-
I won't give you a break.
You have to be perfect.
I might have given them to all of you.
Yeah, true. Yeah, I'm not seeing it either. But it did stand out since it's bigger, you know, but
Yeah.
you just did more notices in there.
That is, those
Expensive.
two were, like, I think the Board of Review, because it has to go in there 3 different times, 3 weeks in a row, it has to go in. You said you had a couple, so what was the other one?
Yeah, the other one's Casco.
At the early voting expenses.
I know what it is. I gotta find it here.
The very last one, and then there's one above the 21st Century, which I voided. Because she gave me or she didn't have an invoice.
All right. To me, this seems petty. That they're charging us for electric.
I showed that to Phoebe and I said the same thing.
Isn't the building
That's,
open?
no, that's for the sign outside that says early voting here.
Oh, geez. And it costs $13 a day to run that sign?
That's what she says.
So really it costs $26 because we're paying half. I don't believe
I
that.
agree.
I don't believe that, so. I mean, I know we have a contract with them, but I think that's pretty petty.
Well, it's 1301 a day times 9 days. So we're paying half, so we
Okay.
paid $650.
You should have charged them for going over there every day and charged them for mileage
I know.
and whatever your latte coffee in the morning.
Right?
Well, I didn't, but
But that's all I got.
Everybody good? Good, all right, I'll make a motion to approve check number 4483 to 4543 and electronics 91 to 94 with a total of 65,000. Wait, is that voided?
Yeah, mine,
Oh, there we go. Okay, it did minus. Okay.
which one are you minusing out?
It's minusing out the 633,
No, what number?
Oh.
Check.
but it's still, we still approve it though, even though
Okay.
it's voided,
Okay.
you know.
Go ahead.
With a total of 65,667.43. Because we've approved voided checks in the past too.
Any questions? No. Second, okay, Keelman,
Yes.
Dudek,
Yes.
Christie, yes. Duncan,
Yes.
Berenger,
Yes.
carried. Now, ordinance report.
So can I ask a question on reading this?
Yep, we're on this.
Okay, why are we now? Didn't we have it as a misdemeanor? Then it went to a civil infraction. Now we're going back to misdemeanor. Am I remembering this correctly? Yeah.
Well, nothing's changed yet.
Well, no, but I see that's what he's saying in the process of changing.
Well, but. I talked to the attorney about it. He hasn't even had time to work on it yet. And he told me that when he does, he will come to the board and present. And explain what his plan is, but his plan is that it's going to be a hybrid. Where we can issue civil infractions to residents. And if they take care of the issue, it won't go any further. If it ends up in a district court, then, you know, it'll be whatever that district court finds as its fine. If it becomes a habitual problem or can't get settled, then it will bump up to the higher one, which would be a misdemeanor. But he hasn't written the language for it or anything yet, and I'm just kind of telling you where he's going with it. It's going to be a hybrid solution where it's kind of what we're doing before and kind of what we were doing way before. And we'll just see what he presents, and then it will be a board decision about whether you even want to do that.
That's kind of putting us on hold now.
Well,
Many of
it's
the
not,
situations.
no, it's not putting us on hold, because he told me in the absence of changing everything, it should continue as it is.
Well, a lot of them said waiting on, waiting on for the attorney, waiting on for the attorney.
Yeah,
for the
upon advisement, the
Yeah,
ticket was rescinded. They all say that.
Okay, I can't speak to this. I didn't know it said this.
yeah, it just says it a few times. Did the attorney say to continue? Did he say that or?
He said to continue as you're going until you do. Nothing has changed until something changes. That's
Exactly,
what
he
he
needs
said.
our approval anyway, so that's
That's
why I
what he
was like,
said.
oh,
He said
okay.
nothing has changed until something changes.
I mean, would it be too bad if he presents it next month and it's like good, but if it keeps going down the road, it's just kind of shutting all these down, so. If that's the situation.
Well, they're all getting kicked down the road, it looks like.
And then I have this other question about this dangerous building on Warner. Because they were issued a ticket, case closed. This is A case closed on the code enforcement for lack of citizen complaint form on file.
I saw that one. Where was it?
It's the first closed case.
It's the first closed one, okay, sorry. Oh, there we go, okay. But it says it hasn't moved to the building department,
Excuse me?
or talking about her, the one she was talking about, the Warner Road.
I know, but
Wouldn't that,
that was basically what the thing was. It was a dangerous building. and they had
so
to
would
address it.
that be building department or would that be ordinance, you know? Cause it's kind of, you know.
I guess the first things first, what's the plan for the misdemeanor or infraction?
Excuse me?
What's our plan for civil infraction to misdemeanor? Right, so if they had a civil infraction, that's what we were currently doing, right?
That's what we're currently doing.
Why would we have canceled them if we don't have anything else in
I
plan?
can't speak to that. This is the first I knew of it.
So I mean, you had, it's 4, I think it is on here that we canceled, that you've been working on for a while. Now we're gonna go back to step 1 and start again. Ritual walls like a page. Since it started. Yeah, correct, crash it next to the smokehouse.
Yeah, the tent is still there.
Well, I thought that. So I know we can't answer this, but I thought the civil infraction was issued. A month ago or last month that went to the court. Did we pull it from the court?
Did we cancel these at the courts?
Good evening.
Good evening.
We'll start with something that I think will help us understand what's going on or not going on in this township. And that's our open cases and closed cases. So I went back to 2019, very first of the year of 2019. And went through and cleaned up the file. We have 62 closed cases we've been working on. So it's been asserted that nothing's happening, and that's not simply the truth. We've closed 62 cases since then. Mind you, we had a pandemic in the midst of all this as well. We have 59 open cases from that time period. Some of these open cases are long ongoing. They go all the way back to February 20th, 2019. Well, I bet as I've been driving around the township, I've been taking photos and some of them are compliant now, some aren't. That's why the closed cases are getting larger than the open cases. So with that being said, we've got our long novel dissertation here that Brian put together for me. And it was my understanding in conversations with the attorney that he wanted to put a hiatus on the civil infractions. In case in point is I got in the office here tonight. Mr. Scott Mavey, the attorney that was working on 9620 Crawford Road, second page near the bottom. I'd like to start removing people's names from these. I just want to use addresses from now on. I don't feel it's fair to 9620 Crawford. With a half-page email from Scott Mazie on what happened at the hearing, because I asked him on Monday, listen, I need some answers for the board. So this is crazy. There was an older ticket file that went into default as a defendant, I'll leave that blank, did not contact the court for a hearing. That court file number was MC 1012 ON Columbus ticket 1009. The defendant's lawyer paid the appeal bond of $384 and filed an appeal claiming that the defendant never got notified of the ticket. We send our tickets out first class mail. That's all that's required of our ordinance and ZBA rules through zoning board, not zoning board, but Michigan zoning rules. The $384 appeal bond break down to $285 fine, $89 in cost, $10 state cost. The new case ticket was 1054 in court file MC 1054 ON. The judge was in the middle of a trial on the court date of 1/24/2024, so January 24th, and took a short break between witnesses to testify and to deal with the new case and the defendant's appeal in motion. It was agreed that the defendant withdrew his appeal motion and on the older file, and the $384 appeal bond that he paid would remain with the court and Columbus Township to be applied towards the defendant's fines and costs. The new case was dismissed with prejudice only as to ticket 1054 and the defendant's conduct on the date of September 8th of 2023. I'm not sure how the court distributes the fines and costs, but Columbus should have received some money. Thank you, or thanks Scott Mazie. Did we receive a check from the court?
We always receive checks, but it never says, oh, it's from this person, so they do not specify ever.
Do they specify a court docket number?
They, no, usually just court and legal fees, that's all it says.
So I guess at the end of the day, do we want to fine the residents or do we want them to become compliant? I think that's why the lawyer wants to steer away from civil infraction and go to misdemeanor, because misdemeanor gives them a little more juice in court because it's a $500 fine and he can threaten them with jail time. It tends to get people's attention.
A $500 fine for what? For what?
Ma'am, this is not public comment. I'm sorry.
I thought we already steered from
We did steer from
wanting
that.
money.
From attorney to
we go
attorney, we
back and
bounce back
forth.
and forth
We-
because
we're
every
not-
attorney changes the
How
story.
many attorneys ago was this? All right.
Do
I swear it's every other attorney, we switch what we're doing.
Everybody's got a different way of running it.
I know, it's so. like-
Well, either way, you're charging the resident, right? So if the resident doesn't comply, the misdemeanor has more teeth. Tomato,
Well, my
tomato,
point-
what's the difference?
Trustee Clement is 9620 Crawford paid his fine and he's still not compliant.
Exactly.
So that's where we're going. But if he's threatened with jail time on top of the $500 fine, perhaps he'll become compliant. Okay? So is there any other questions while I'm up here?
So back to Brett's original question. Are we holding?
Your sound went out.
Right, we don't know that it's gonna change.
Yeah,
It is changing. We've got 62 closed cases.
No, we don't know if it's going to change to
Okay.
misdemeanor or not, is what I'm
Alright.
saying.
I mean, I know we've got, what is there, like 12 of them on this fresh file here that we're looking at right now? And we're getting some compliance on them.
Okay, here's the question I have.
Yeah.
Okay, there's the one house on Ellsworth that you sent a letter because it needs to be demolished.
Yes.
Because it's dangerous. And then there's that barn on Warner, which is dangerous. You had DTE remove the electricity
Right.
and now you closed it.
We
But
closed
yet you addressed the one on Gratiot. Nobody wrote a complaint about that one. You noticed that one. I guess I'm not understanding how we decide this one has to be pursued and this one doesn't.
He knows what he wants.
Well, the barn issue, it's not a place where somebody can occupy, right?
I
Okay,
agree,
we removed the dangerous electrical off the side of the barn. It's obviously got a long way to go before it's safe. The barn, or the home, has been sitting vacant for the last 50 years with a 8-inch tree growing through the center of it. I just got started on that just a few months ago.
Well, I
Now the house on
Brad,
Gratiot, just south of that commercial building. I'm duty bound as a building official to, if I see something, I have to do something.
I
Okay,
understand.
and that is a dangerous building.
That's what I was thinking. It's under the
Yeah.
building code
Yeah.
more than it is.
But-
What's dangerous on that one, I guess?
Well, if you've got a roof that's not complete, there's raccoons climbing in and out of it, it's vacant, the cop.
So it's got a hole in the roof now.
It does, a large one, yeah, I've witnessed a raccoon climbing in and out of it. All the copper's been stripped out of it because it's been vacant for the last 4 years. So scrappers have gotten in there and ruined the home. I give those people that own that 3 options. Either demo it with a permit, repair it to a livable condition with a permit, or sell it with a licensed real estate agent. And they chose the real estate agent because I just talked with them on Monday.
Can we do that? Can you tell them they have to use a licensed real estate agent?
Yes, because if you don't, that's just what they wanted to do. They wanted to just sell it on their own. They're gonna ask $2 million for the property and it'll sit like that for another 4 years. Because they don't want to sell it.
They can still ask whatever they want with a licensed real estate agent. Yeah, I mean, they don't have.
If you're a real estate agent, Brett, are you gonna ask $2 million for it and never have anybody?
Building next door was listed for $650.
Okay.
Sold for $325, but when that guy bought it.
I was just using that as an arbitrary number.
Right, I'm just saying, I don't know.
But if it does get sold at, it would be sold as
The
is.
new owners will
Yeah.
have to bring it up to code or demo.
Because what if they don't? What if it's just pretty much passing the buck to the new homeowner,
Well,
you know? 'Cause-
you
know,
but that's commercial
How does
property.
that work? Cause I thought we had a problem with houses that, on that before, and we passed something.
Let's say what?
So like if that, like this house, right, it's got a hole in the roof and it's an issue and nobody can live in it, somebody buys it. I thought we had this before.
A dangerous building?
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought Joe, when
I-
Joe did the whole bunch, presented a whole
Where's the
bunch.
whole big deal on that?
My question too is that is commercial property there. So,
So it's non-conforming.
right, so if they sell it, can they sell it as a residence? If
Yes.
it has to be.
Oh, no, it should still be a residence.
It has to be rebuilt as it is. It can't
But it would
increase.
have to be
Oh, I know
brought
you
to
can't
code,
increase the
wouldn't you think?
footprint, I know.
Or somebody can move into it.
I don't know, that is dicey. Cause we don't have an ordinance that says you have to do that.
I don't know.
We have a building code that says you have to, but I don't think there's an ordinance that tells you you have to. It's like having a rental and not having a rental inspection every time somebody moves in. We don't know, we don't do that here.
Right. Well, maybe we should.
Oh my God, we'd never be able to catch up. There's no way. We're not equipped for that.
That was 8895. This is Brendan, right? Ration. All right, that number. Yeah, it doesn't seem right. Actually,
That
that's too
doesn't sound
far.
right.
That's too far.
No, 8895 is the one down by Amos.
Yeah,
No,
for
it's,
some reason,
yeah,
One next-
it's 390.
Yeah, 10,390.
St. Clair County, they make their addresses go smaller if they go north. Macomb County the other way around. So. 8954 Rattle Run, I've closed that. I've done. That near the top of page. What's the number of these things? Page 5. That's been closed. I went out there on Monday afternoon. And found the place cleaned up quite a bit, so it's been closed. Really? Yeah, 1039 right there. It's the one right below the inch.
Mhm.
And 2620 Ellsworth, that's the collapsed building. I've had 2 people already inquire about demo permits for it. I'm assuming it was a home at one time. And then, there's new cases. We've added those.
What was that?
We've added, 8815 Crawford, 2715 Boner, 1963 Palms. Some of these are, if you look on, open cases, they're quite old, so they may go away as I get a chance to get out there and take a photo of the property.
So I have this idea about, I think Justin has plenty of time on his hands. And I was thinking that when complaints come in. And then they go to him to be entered into the system. I thought it might be a good idea if he made first contact with them, if he called those people and told them that there's been a complaint made, and could he come over and talk to them about it and get shown around, take any pictures and come back and make a report about what he saw or what happened. I mean, he's getting paid to be here anyhow, even if he's not doing anything. And I just thought it would be a personable way to make first contact with people that maybe we could settle issues before they get blown up and people get toe to toe about it. And, you know, cause after a while, things get out of hand and people will not respond and they refuse to do anything. And it just turns into a who could spit the furthest, you know what I'm saying? And we don't need to have that.
You have to make him the code enforcement officer at that point. You can't have him entering other people's properties if he's not sworn in by our clerk.
Okay.
He wouldn't be exclusively, did I swear Brian in?
He did.
And so he wouldn't be exclusively the code enforcement.
He would
Brian
not.
could still be.
And I'm not.
And his personality is pretty mild mannered, so people may. not
Right,
take
well, and that's what
offense.
I'm thinking, if he made initial contact and did the initial inspection and pictures and report. It would be like a soft landing of dealing with somebody, instead of just going to somebody and saying, you got this, and you got this, and you better fix that, and I don't know how it's getting done
I
right
very
now.
seldom go onto people's property. A lot of times it's photos from the public way, because that's what's legal in court.
Okay, but if you just called them and asked them, if they say no, well, then you turn it over to Tracy and.
Well,
let
you
him
have
deal
to
with
send a
it.
letter, because
But
we don't know these people's phone number. So if we're gonna send a letter, why not just send what we've been doing right along, and that's a letter campaign. Telling them this is, you're in violation of this ordinance, you've got some scrap cars. Please clean it up by 30 days or contact my office with a plan of action. Then after that, we send them a 10-day notice, and after that, a 5-day notice.
Well, but
That's what
my
we're
thought
doing.
is, just because somebody complains doesn't mean there's really a problem.
This is a very true statement.
But I make a
Oh.
complaint and it doesn't get taken seriously.
So it's just a thought. I
Yeah.
mean, just so kick it around.
I love Justin dearly, but I don't believe he has a demeanor for that type of a position.
Well, for people
I
that
don't
say,
think he would want to
okay,
do
I got
that.
nothing to hide, come on over.
Yeah.
I think it would be right up his alley. But for people that, because he's not gonna make any decisions when he's there, and he's just gonna investigate. So,
Right.
people that say, no, you're not coming over here, or then no.
Yeah.
But that's just my thought.
Well,
I
I did drive down Mr. Peters' driveway all the way in and did the roundabout, which takes you pretty close to his outbuildings. You were there with me the second time.
Yeah,
Now, the first time I went by myself, that was on the heels of that man being shot and killed in Clay Township. So believe me, that was on my mind. And his driveway is a little bit on the narrow side, and it's not that inviting. You don't have no tools or nothing along there, okay?
And I understand that, but why lie to a resident? Why lie? Why didn't you tell me, hey, I was a little concerned going back?
This, I'll walk right now.
careful, Karen.
What?
I said, careful, let us get through this.
So I
Unbelievable.
do go onto people's property. I do it with caution. With respect, I don't ever go past a no trespassing sign. Certain things were taught in, zoning class.
Okay, well, it's just, I just had an idea.
All right, maybe we should take it up later though.
No, I didn't expect to take it up now. I just wanted,
Okay, all right.
but I wanted to float it now.
Sure, absolutely.
Okay. Also, I put the memorandum in here that Joe wrote on the property from the complaint last month. There was a. Yep. The lady on Zoom here.
Yeah, I talked to him today, and I also want to bring to your attention that on the enforcement that was on 1/15 of 2024 that was given to Tracy, he has no violations found, which we know is incorrect. There was violations found. So that should be 2 line items on the BSA. One should be his violations were found, and the next line item should be that he applied for a permit for ag.
Okay. But this was Joe's opinion letter that he wrote. Everybody's got a copy of it. So. Is there anything else on ordinance here that anybody wants to talk about? Motion to file. Moving on. No assessor report. I'm sure we'll get one next month because the board of review was today. So next is clerk meeting meal. She just needs an up or down on, are you gonna pay for her lunch?
This is our end of the election. Hopefully I'll get some questions answered on some of the crazy mistakes that happened.
For $25, they better answer.
I got a list started. I have a whole list started.
I'll make a motion to approve the clerks association meeting. Lunch.
Second.
I'll support.
Christie, yes. Duncan,
Yes.
Dudek,
Yes.
Gilman,
Yes.
Berenger.
Yes.
Okay. So I just want to say right here that any of these things we're approving, I want to get paid in March. All right, and they'll end up on the next, next check register, but we want to pay for anything we can before this budget runs out.
Should I have brought my big list of all the copies of this I had when we did the check register, or do you want to talk about it?
We're just gonna
Okay.
bring it up as we go here, I think. Okay? Is that all right?
Mhm.
Okay, we had I went to the annual road commission meeting. You'll see here, we have the appropriation of match money and drain money for this year. Then there's an activity sheet of what we accomplished in 2023. And then how much we've done so far in 2024. And there was like I don't know, it was a lot of pages. I'm gonna say 60, 70 pages, and it was all in color. And I thought it would use up all the ink to print a bunch of
I
copies of
read
that.
through that and I see they're resurfacing Bauman.
So yeah, the resurfacing bomb,
And division, which they just did.
but they're only doing 1 mile of division,
Oh,
way down by Richford,
okay.
from 31 to 32 mile. Yeah, they're only doing a little short piece of it. Oh, you said division. Yeah. I'm
Division,
sorry.
yeah.
They're doing M19 too, a little short section,
Yeah.
1 mile. And division, they're doing a long way,
But I
right?
swear it was like.
But then they're gonna do that as they're closing down one side So everybody's gonna have to drive on the other side and then they're gonna close the other side and do it like that.
But I swear they did that just didn't they just do that like before they did the bridge on Gratiot? Because they did that.
Yeah.
But there's
east of-
one real
east of
big bad
Gratiot,
dip
right?
they never fixed.
East of Gratiot, going all the way to the
Right.
expressway.
Right,
Yeah, they did it just a few years ago.
yeah, and they're doing it again.
And they're resurfacing, bombing.
Yeah.
I think the reason they're doing division is garbage trucks.
Well, yeah.
Did you unplug this?
No, I didn't. I did notice it
Oh,
hanging.
you're
and I'm like,
probably right, because that Palms.
I didn't know what to think of
Palms
it.
And division there, there's
And-
actually grooves in the.
And they're replacing two bridges on Gratiot right by Mayor. So the first one you come to when you're coming this way from Mayor, the first one you come to, that one's going, and then I think one a little bit further up. We're supposed to do both of them this year.
I probably ask this every year. You remember how we used to make the motion to move that drain money over to something else? Do we do that anymore or no? That you see that
Yeah,
carryover?
Pat used to do that.
I know. Do we do that anymore? I know, it's just in the back of my head. What did we used to do in the past?
She used to move it all over
To where?
to the match money.
Is that what we did?
I don't
Okay.
see the point because we use it anyhow.
If we use it, okay, that's all I'm wondering. I just remember us doing it like every year, like we'd move the money. Okay,
This will be gone as soon as we do the gravel haul.
yeah, yeah. Okay.
So that's all they're doing. They're not only doing a few things in our township this year. I had another sheet.
But we're still going to do those
I'll get
culvert
to it.
replacements, right, that we talked about.
Yeah, and I'll get to that
Further back.
in here somewhere.
Okay.
It's in here somewhere. But yeah, we're doing that through the local road funding project.
Oh, yeah. This was,
So they're not, I mean, they're doing a lot throughout the county, but not too much with us this time. Because they overbid a bunch of jobs and they don't have enough people to finish them all. That's why they didn't do any ditching this year hardly. And I've been getting some complaints from people about, the road grading where they're pushing all the dirt in the ditch. And I got verification today that they're gonna come and get that dirt out of the ditch and fix them wherever they did it. They did it in a few spots. But there's nothing to vote on that. The next thing is, the 8902 big hand cleanup. We went in, cleaned up the whole property, all the blights gone. Richmond Recycling did the work. Then you see the invoice here, we ended up, the scrap value of what they took was $9,600, so that came off the bill. And then, so what we need to do is get authorization from the board to pay this bill so that we can bill the resident. And I'd like to pay this in the month of March also.
If we do approve it, I was talking to Angie about this too. What account would you guys like it under? The law enforcement account, cause that's what I'm like, what category is it, you know? Cause I was just thinking for accounting.
It is
purposes.
enforced.
That's what, the best we were thinking, like law
So we have to make
enforcement.
a new-
So we'll have to make a,
We'll have to make an adjustment.
some an
for it.
account, and then we'll make an
Make an
adjustment.
account, yeah, budget adjustment.
At the end of this month, when we close out the budget, we have to make all the final adjustments.
Yeah.
To make it all balance out, so we can start our new budget. So
Okay, so I'll do
That's
under
kind of
law
my point.
enforcement if we.
I'll make a
approve it.
motion to pay this, Richmond Recycling for $48,378.88 under the law enforcement budget, which will have to have an adjustment and a new account.
Does it also have to include the fact that it's getting added to their taxes, or how does that motion? get-
That would be an attorney
not yet.
question. I know it is in the
So-
hearing, it is in the paperwork on it. but-
all we're doing at this point is paying it and billing the resident. We're not putting
Then we
anything
have
on
to
their
do the rest.
taxes yet. That will come when it comes.
Okay.
Or I'll
Okay.
support.
Excuse me?
I'll support.
Okay, Dudek,
Yes.
Christie, yes. Duncan,
Yes.
Berenger,
Yes.
Stillman,
Yes.
Harry,
I assume I'm billing the.
you're billing.
I just want to make sure I follow the proper, just make sure I do
Yes,
everything.
you're
but-
gonna pay it,
Okay.
and then you're gonna send them
Copy
whatever,
of that.
whatever documentation you think you
Okay,
need to send them.
okay,
And then bill it.
okay.
I don't know if you want to give them a deadline of how long they have to pay it.
Should you ask the attorney on anything that he thinks on his side, or it should just be?
I already did.
Okay,
And he said to just pay it and bill it, and we'll cross the other bridge when we get to it.
okay. Yeah, I'll put some a note, time period on it and everything. Do like a first notice.
Okay. Get to the next thing here. All right, 2024-25 budget. I prepared this budget. And like every other year, I'm doing a balanced budget. We're coming out with some money left over to add to the rainy day fund. That's assuming we spend everything, which I'm sure we won't, because we never do. But this will cover everything we have to pay for. And stuff that we're probably not even gonna do. So then that will end up back in savings.
Bruce, what happened with the basement? Did you guys, have to pay for the basement?
What
Okay.
basement?
The
Here.
water, here, we talked about it in the last board meeting. There's water in the basement the girls talked about.
Yeah, I found, or well, I didn't find somebody else, but somebody here found somebody else. I don't recall who.
That was you.
Angie?
Yeah.
I think it was. me,
All right,
yeah.
Angie found somebody else, and it was a way smaller price. The first people that came out wanted $12,000. And then we would have to move everything ourselves, and we would have to trench for our own pipes, and we would have to do this and that, and it would ended up $20,000, and that was just ridiculous. So we ended up getting it for around $1,500.
Okay.
Go Angie.
We got the same amount of work done, and it does drain now.
It drains, it's dry for them.
Water runs outside and in the backyard.
Thank you.
Okay, so I had a couple minor changes that I already talked to Bruce about. The first one is, I don't have any mileage. So, we could put mileage for me,
You're
just
gonna
the
have
same
to
amount.
provide some.
Okay, I'm gonna carpool with me. So for 253,860, I know it's not split up on here, so 253,860. We could put the 500 there, just the same amount that we did last year. I don't know how much, if I used more or less.
Oh,
Got zero there,
There it
yeah, it just
is.
stands out. And then also, if you go up, you'll see another zero for, contractual 250,818. Do you remember what we were paying from that account for contractual? I know it's something new that we just started doing.
250.
818. I thought we could, but we need a budget. We need a budget 1,000 there.
Administration, correct?
Yes, general admin.
So that's the
But
copy.
you know, you see the current budget has nothing.
Not that's we still have money that we did use in there though.
Because I went to pay that one, I went to input that one and it was over budget, whatever we had.
So you want to put 1,000 there?
Yeah, because our activity was, we had 817 there as of, that was as of January. So if we
Okay.
could put 1,000 there, because we have all these new things that we do for contracts. And that one was 1,000. So if we could put 1,000 there, so that would be 250,818.
So on that front page, where is that other one?
Sorry, what?
The EMS.
Oh, the EMS, okay, and then the EMS grant, that account is not on here.
See?
On here, but it was
Oh,
on, it was on the computer, you know, but that account actually is. Let me find out my one paper. Okay, so it's account, so this would be for revenue. This is just a wash, because we take the money from the EMS millage. If you guys remember, it
Yep.
just started, and then we pay it out, so it's a wash, so it's in and out.
So it doesn't show a spot, I'm just gonna write it down.
So it's 101,000,504,000, and it's called EMS millage.
101,000,504. 504.
Yep, and then 000, so that's a revenue account, it's called EMS millage. And we need 118,500. Cause that's how much we collected for the taxes, we're gonna push it right back out to the EMS. And then to do that, so that's EMS millage, so for 504,
So I know, I figured it out
118.
why it's not on here, is because it happened
During the year.
after we made the budget last year.
Mhm.
yes. And we didn't really know what was gonna, it was kind of
Right,
new
we
to
didn't know
us,
how much
yeah,
there was
it was
gonna be.
new to us anyways. And then,
After I talked to you, I was thinking,
And then you
I
have
can't
to
believe
add,
I missed it, why would it not be on there? I mean.
So-
Because it happened during the year
Yeah.
after the budget was already made.
yep. So the expense line for the EMS millage would be under the fire and rescue, so it's 101,336. So you don't see that, you'll see just contractual right now, 101,336,818.
Mhm.
So the EMS millage would be 101,336,820. And then budget the same amount, because it'll be a wash,
101, 336,
336,820,
20.
and then .000.
it's gonna be 118,000.
And that 118,500. Because it was just a little over 118.
This is a millage that was voted on and agreed to.
Correct. So that's just us paying it out to Richmond Lennox
This is,
EMS.
it was on the ballot in 22, correct?
Correct,
I think so.
yeah, it was.
Because it would have been on 2022 taxes.
I think last.
So it would have been approved right before the.
I think last summer's the first time we ever paid it, isn't it?
Mhm.
Mhm.
Yep, because I would have collected it in 2022, so. I think that was all I had, and I know you're gonna look to get possibly a new computer you talked about,
Well,
maybe, or,
I'm not sure if mine's gonna make it, it's really been giving me.
and it
trouble.
won't change to Windows,
And mine and my deputy they're at the end of life.
and they're not compatible to move to the new Windows,
I
or
can't-
because hers is
everything else
older.
can upgrade.
Ours
to
can,
11,
but hers can't, it's just under,
So we
whatever.
have to- If we don't do it this fiscal year that's coming up, we're gonna have to do it immediately the next year, because he said October of 25, they stopped.
oh, okay, I thought it was sooner,
But mine's
so.
been acting up. I've kind of been playing around with that, and he went in it, he wrote it in, and but of course, as soon as I call and say it's happening, it stopped happening,
Mhm.
so.
So just, I guess we'll just keep it in the back of
Yeah,
our mind and
that
see
I
how
think,
things go then.
I'm gonna have to do something. And hopefully this,
But somebody ought to be able to come out and get it to work.
I'm hoping.
I get scared when I hear end of life.
Yeah.
Well, her
After
problem
what
is they,
happened, well, you know what happened last.
well, they came out and then she started having problems afterwards.
Well, they had- they
That
had
was
to-
the problem.
They didn't reconfigure one of my election computers because laptops, because it wouldn't do updates anymore. And then I called the county and said, I have a brand new one that the state sent me for early voting, but early voting is in Casco. Can I use it? And they told me no. That's one of my questions for my meeting, because I find that ridiculous. I don't think she knows that it can be used. Because nobody's given anybody that direction yet. I don't know if the state knows.
Okay,
Okay, so-
and then cemetery, you don't want to do anything more with cemetery, right?
Where,
Until we,
where are we at? Cemetery?
cemetery, that account would be 567 account, so 101,567. What do we got here? So we got we got pretty much the same amount. So I know we're looking to do. I don't know if you guys just want to make the adjustment once we do it. Is that okay? Or as long as we're, all aware of it then. Okay.
So we got repairs and maintenance and then improvements.
Yeah,
So we got 9,500 to work with.
yeah,
Right.
yeah.
That doesn't take much when you cut a few trees down, a few thousand right there. Quite a few of those trees are looking pretty scary. And I'm hoping this, what I'm figuring for the elections is going to be enough, but
You'll never know.
I have no idea.
You had did you want to take stuff out of contingency since you budgeted so much in there?
Yeah, let's move.
You
some
know what
right
I
now.
mean? Since that was, you were assuming we were getting this bill later, you
Yeah, let's
know?
move some right now.
Okay, okay.
Where's it, where are we at there?
For the contingency,
Yep.
that is two
Oh, I
five
found it,
okay. 90,000.
959.69.
Yes.
All right,
Well, I'm not seeing it.
So, what he budgeted 90,000
so
in
I'm gonna take
contingency.
20 out of
So-
there, all right? Let me
Okay,
take-
so take away 20, so
Take-
then there's
so I'm gonna
70,000.
take 20 out of there and I'm gonna add it over in the cemetery.
Okay, so we'll put 20 there. So we're gonna put it under,
So
How do you-
put it under.
I don't know if it really
Repairs and maintenance.
so 10 and 10?
That's probably a good.
No, it's
idea.
one thing.
Well, repairs
Five.
and maintenance and on improvements? Well, that would be repairs and maintenance.
What's six, one half dozen of the other, isn't it?
I know, it is.
Yeah.
It really is.
I would say improvements are like if we do fencing.
Oh,
Repairs
you're
and
right.
Maintenance.
All
cutting
right,
down
all right,
trees.
put 10 in each.
10 and 10, okay.
Whatever. If it makes you
Okay.
happy. So then it's gonna make it 14.5 and 15.
14, 5 and 50, okay?
All right, so that, none of that's gonna change the bottom line.
Besides my
So we're only
1,500,
changing the bottom line by 1,500.
if you guys don't want to move any more out,
And we're
okay,
still, we're
Okay.
still fine.
okay. Okay,
So
that's all I had.
what do you think?
Everything else was
What,
like normal.
the contractual that 101, 446, 813, is that the roads?
That's roads, yeah. Yep, the contractual and the repairs and maintenance, those are the two big boys that we have.
We're allowed to be lower there this year, and we're not that much lower. But we're allowed to be lower there this year because of the ARPA money from the county is going to pay for that culvert that we're getting for local road funding, so that's 30-something thousand dollars we're not gonna have to spend.
We had a lot left over this budget too. It's like they just didn't use it up this year.
Well, they claim they're gonna give us service this year, so
They claim.
Did they? Okay. We want to do it, but like. Is everybody else good?
Yep.
And then parks, everybody, parks, liquor, those were all just the same.
We're not changing anything there,
Yeah,
right?
everything else seemed fine from what I saw.
Okay, is there a motion to
I'll make a motion
accept
to
the budget
approve.
with changes?
Yep,
And then Phoebe or Angie will spell out those changes when she'll put it in she'll enter it in the program and she'll put it
I'll
in the
print
minutes.
stuff out. and-
You'll
Yep.
spell it out in the minutes, correct?
Yep.
So, motion, did you make a motion?
yep. Approve the budget with change.
Berenger,
Yes,
Who seconded it? Who seconded?
I did.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Oh, what I was thinking, okay, sorry.
Duncan,
Yes.
Christie, yes, Dudek,
Yes,
Gilman,
Yes.
okay, carried. Good deal. All right.
Hmm.
Okay. So first we have the first chloride. Make a motion on that.
I'll make a motion to approve the first chloride gravel all for the
Doing
township.
them separate? Or are we doing them
We're
together?
doing them separate.
Okay. So chloride.
24,894 and 24 cents. 21% chloride.
Yep, 21%. Excuse me?
I'll support.
Okay. Gilman.
Yes.
Hudak.
Yes.
Christie, yes. Duncan.
Yes.
Berenger.
Yes.
Carried. Today's the 12th, you said?
Yes.
Sign here, please. Next one, we have the 70-30 cost sharing local limestone program. This is going to be done on Palms Road. And there's a special solution that they're going to use this year, where they're gonna grind up the road, they're gonna put on the new gravel, and then they're gonna soak it down with this new solution and then run it over with a roller that's supposed to pack it all down. They say it'll last 3 to 5 years without needing grading or anything.
So just this road they're doing it?
Just this road, it's an experiment.
Oh, wow. Okay, well,
I
hopefully
volunteered. to-
environmental. you know?
I volunteered to do it.
So, you know.
Um,
No, I can't question that.
Well, it's a new thing. It's a new thing they came up with.
It's like a binder.
Okay.
They say the last 3 to 5 years, that's their selling thing, and, I mean, we're not gonna know until somebody tries it,
Try, I mean,
right?
can't be worse than potholes.
Yeah, I said either Hessen or Palms Road would be a good.
Palms Road, we get the most complaints on Palms Road, so I figured that would be the one to try to fix.
Yeah.
So,
Does it cost more to do that then? Do they, you know, so there's,
not when we're guinea pigging,
okay,
but if it
Okay.
works and we want it on other roads, they're gonna make us pay for it.
Okay.
But since we're just trying it and they don't know if it works yet, they're just gonna do it. Okay, is there a motion on this one?
I'll make a motion to approve the 70-30 cost sharing.
I'll support.
$28,309.82.
Is that what we're paying or are we paying the 12,000?
That's.
Our part is 12,000, the total
Sorry.
project is
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
40,000. So we're approving 12,132. Okay. Christie, yes. Duncan,
yes.
Dudek,
Yes.
Berenger,
Yes.
Gilman,
Yes.
carried. It was Keelman Dudek.
That's a question.
Sure.
Why are we paying for a company to research and develop?
Excuse me?
Why are we paying a company to do R&D on a road that's,
We're not.
we're paying $12,000, right?
No, what you
We're paying for
heard.
the
We
limestone.
would pay 12 grand to do the 70-30 split on limestone. There's a local limestone program that every year they offer a 70-30 split for, it's like a 2-mile stretch that we do somewhere in the township, aside from our regular gravel haul. So we're gonna do that anyhow somewhere.
Okay.
And since Palms Road is our worst road and they want a guinea pig to try their product, I said, do it on Palms when you do the 70-30 thing. Because I'd love to have that one solid up, so that one turns into washboard real quick.
Okay.
But we're not paying for the spray they're doing
Yeah, it's the same price.
Until-
Crap.
until they decide that, yes, it works, and boy, does it cost a lot. And then we'll pay on the other roads. I'm sure they'll make it up down the road.
Okay. Thanks.
Yeah, for some reason I gotta sign here and here. We're going all the way from Rattle Run to Jaeger incidentally. Thank you, miss.
All right.
All right, next is the all over the township gravel haul. Second sheet, you'll see all the places it's going. The third sheet spells it out on a map. We went over on the road trip when we drove around the whole township and seen what it needed. We wrote all these down except for, Stan did some driving of his own and, added a little on here.
Oh, okay. So we have to do no calculations. or
They added,
No.
instead of Frith Road stopping at Palms, they're going all the way to Mayor.
Okay.
And then, the other one, it's on here wrong. Big Hand, they got Rattle Run to Mayor. It should be Gratiot to Mayor.
This should be Gratiot to Mayor. Okay.
Well, let me see the map.
So Big Hand Road.
Yeah, it shows it on the
Okay.
map as Gratiot.
So the
Yeah.
loads are okay though, the
Show me
21.
where it says it.
Yeah, right in there.
It's got a
Big Hand, where?
Big Hand,
Big Hand Rattle Run to Mayor.
it should be
Right,
Gratiot,
So-
Gratiot to Mayor.
But the loads are okay, you're saying, right?
Yep.
Oh, the 21. Okay.
Yeah, it never hits Rattle Run. Okay. Is there a motion on that?
I'll make a motion to approve the township portion of the road haul for 22A,
216,000.
563.60.
I'll support.
That seems high.
It's because there's way more than we
Okay.
usually
Yeah.
get.
Oh, okay. This
Wow.
seems higher. I'm like, wait,
It's over
Okay.
9,000 tons.
yeah,
Plus the price went up.
I was gonna say that seems, okay.
Did someone second that?
I did.
Remember that money we were talking about? It's gone.
Yeah, I know, I was just gonna say
Oh.
like,
I think most of the money goes to the road.
And that's our biggest expense
All right,
ever.
Duncan,
Yes.
Dudek,
Yes,
Berenger,
Yes.
Gilman,
Yes.
Christie, yes. Carried. All right. So we should get done pretty early this time because, we're getting it in quick.
Good.
That's what we found out on the gravel run when we were looking at all the roads for ditching and firming and all that is, when we go on the run and he prepares these for me and then I save them to the meeting and then we change them, he got to go back and change them and then get them back to us and then we end up getting the gravel dumped at the end of June.
I thought it was like a rotation, like where we're at, you know, I thought like one
I
time.
we did too.
Yeah, like
It's
we were at
not.
the end one time. and
Yeah,
then-
they lied to you.
Okay.
I swear they told us that.
They did,
Okay.
they did tell us that.
well, they claim they do the north end of the township first because it's the farthest trucking.
Well, apparently they're doing
Okay.
first come, first serve now.
Okay.
Well, that's what they told me.
Well, good thing Sam went out too, because last time we're always like, oh, you know, to add it all in and.
No,
everything. Places
he
go.
told me the deal and I said, I'll go drive him real quick and
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
thanks for coming.
Bye, Chris.
All right. Next is the county allocated ARPA funds for 24, 25, 26. Remember, Dave Rushing was here and, explained to us his plan to get Bell River paved. Does anybody remember that?
Yep.
Yeah,
He came in and told us we weren't getting internet.
Right.
It was His
we're
path,
not getting any internet,
but
but,
we'll do
but
that.
Bell River's getting paved.
Yeah.
He didn't bring that up, did he?
No,
He tap danced around that
He
when he was
tap
here.
danced around
He never
it.
said a word about
The
that.
plan was that he take the money, he gonna get Bell River paved, and he made some kind of deal with the road commission where they're gonna give credit to each of the townships. I don't know exactly, because we never got any paperwork on it. It wasn't spelled out very well. But Hazelton says, I used up all the money Rushing allocated to you in the attached spreadsheet. I'm assuming you're gonna utilize it on local road funding for Coghill, Palms, Withy culverts. And Withy was $8,000 short of the 50-50 match, so we're probably gonna need to kick in 8,000 in 26. And then he added our match for the Palms Road Bridge, which is going to be 90% funded federal.
Oh, right here, this one, the
Yeah,
third
so-
one
So, yeah,
or fourth one, I'm sorry.
I see, he
Okay.
gave us the.
Cause I was trying to connect them all and I was like, oh.
The bridge and
Okay.
culvert thing, I've been keeping up with these, every time they come, I knock them out, get them done. So that we don't have any accidents of caving in culverts or bridges or anything.
Mhm.
So this next sheet, is how he spelled out about how they're gonna get done each year. So we've already agreed to do, we did the paperwork last September for the Coghill Road one. And then when that comes due, it'll be paid for already, our cut.
So it's the 37,000,
That's our cut.
that's our cut that he's gonna pay
That's
for
already
from
paid.
the ARP money. Got it. Okay, okay.
So these will already be paid, and then each year, we just have to, like next year. So this September coming, we'll have to file the paperwork on the Palms Road culvert over Holland Drain.
Okay.
And we're gonna file,
And Big Hand.
excuse me?
Oh, yeah, and they
And Big
can, yeah,
Hand
cause they're both
over
25,
the
yeah.
other curve here, right? Those are both 25.
Just saying they're both in the same year. right?
Yeah,
Yeah, there's two
Okay.
for 25 and two for 26.
so the reason the other one is 61,000, see, one's 33, because it's a 50-50 deal with local road funding. But we're doing two of them in 25, and so only one of them is local road funding, and the other one, we're paying the whole boat.
Okay, okay,
And then the Palms Road Bridge, our cut's only 17,000,
and that's the
Because-
90%,
because that's a 90%. Where the feds are gonna pay the rest.
nice, very nice,
And then Withy Road will be the following year.
okay.
And then for some reason, he gave us a little map to show us where the Palms.
Well,
Road
hopefully they
falls.
stick to the schedule, you know, because obviously the money has to be.
The money has to be allocated by the end of this year.
Yeah, and then,
And spent by the end of 26.
okay, so hopefully they stick to
They
the
have-
schedule.
They have
You
to,
know,
or they
so-
have to send the money back.
Okay, okay.
So, like a vote that you guys agree that this is how the money's gonna get distributed.
I'll make that motion.
I'll support.
How do you want me to word that?
Agree with distribution.
So we're going to say, Keelman Dudek to approve distribution of ARPA funds from county. Just in case, so it's in the minutes when, the road commission says, did you guys approve that?
Yeah,
Mhm.
okay.
Okay, Berenger.
Yep.
Keelman,
Yes.
Duncan.
Yes.
Dudek,
Yes.
Christie, yes. Carried. All right, that's that. Next. I got this from the county about Parks and Recreation millage distribution. You look down here, I highlighted Columbus. We're due to get 22,173, which will be
Ooh.
park money to be spent on parks only. But at the same time, if you read the letter that he sent with it, County Parks wants to put a ballot measure on to double their,
Millage.
millage. They're getting a half a mil right now. They want a full mill. And then they said, well, if we do that, you'll get 44,000 a year. We have to vote on what the board thinks about it. And then, I'll have to get this back to Dave Rushing so that he can represent. at
Oh, they
county.
actually want a board vote on it too.
Yep.
Okay.
I feel like our residents pay too much tax.
So,
I don't want to be the bad guy and say that, but that's what I think.
well, I'm personally opposed to it, if you want my
To
opinion.
me, I don't feel comfortable as the board agreeing on something
Yeah,
like
to
that.
raise millage for more. the
We may have
residents, like they
personal
don't have enough
opinions
to
and,
pay.
you know,
Well, I get that he's looking to be
Right,
directed in a certain way, but right, I mean, we're the
to me, I
board.
just don't feel
So-
comfortable with something, with at least a board
But
approval.
guess-
I think Parks and Rec should probably do a better job of using the money they
yeah, if they're
have.
going to put it on the ballot, then why do we have
And
to say?
they
yeah,
did
we're
a presentation, what, last year, saying that they weren't going, that they're just looking to maintain it.
They're looking to maintain, well, now they're not
That
looking to
was the
maintain. they're looking-
renewal. And
to
they said,
expand.
we're not asking for more, we're just asking for a renewal. You're right, they did do that.
Right, but they have a bunch of
Right.
legacy costs now from all the parks that they bought and opened and upgraded. And all the people they have working for them now that they can't afford to pay all that
Yep.
with the current millage.
And if you give them another half mil, they're gonna create even more legacy costs.
So we need a motion that we're either for or against.
I'll make,
The added millage.
I'll make a motion that we are against increasing the millage for Parks and Rec.
I'll support. Anybody who's ever been to the Columbus Township Park in the winter and wants to sled down the hill, you would know why.
I don't anymore, too many people go.
Yeah, well, they tell you you can't use it, or
They
they
pay all
light the
this money and
fire.
they didn't even put no snow there this
I
year.
know, right?
Like they've got a fire pit, but you're not allowed to use the fire pit. Not today. You have to have a burn permit.
Mm. Oh,
So-
really?
You have a fire pit. You can't go down the hill because it could be grass showing. Cause there's like a hill Gestapo, yeah, and he kicks you out, and you can't go down the hill because there could be snow. What else do you do on a hill? You're supposed to roll down it.
Right, Christie.
Yeah.
Berenger,
Yes, I'm trying, it's one of those. you
I-
say what you
Gilman?
mean.
Yeah.
so the motion is
He's
against the
renewing.
increase in millage.
Did you,
I said yes, you said yes, Keelman said yes. Duncan,
Yes.
Dudek?
Yes.
Okay. Carried. North Star Bank, CDAR. Renewal.
So yeah, our CDR is expiring, so, this is the account that, no matter what, even if we're over $250,000, how they separate it is they separate it in different bank accounts. So no matter what amount of money we have in there, we will be insured. I see it on my bank statement too. They'll say, oh, $500 in whatever bank. As long as we don't have a bank account with them, they always make sure that we don't already have an account with them. So we have, 251,000 in there. So it is over 250, but just to let you know, that's why it's a CDR. We are insured. They split it up among different banks. They do not have it under one bank account. So, but it is up for expiration and I need to let them know right away tomorrow morning. So
I'm for the 26 weeks.
that's what I think too. I'm gonna make a motion
I mean, we make a lot less, we were making average, like, I think $780 a month, we were making a lot of money.
How much
But
did you say?
I think it was like 780,
Oh, wow.
it was over 700.
I'll make a motion to approve this CEDAR renewal for 26 weeks.
4.4%. Second?
I'll support.
Berenger,
Yes,
Duncan,
Yes.
Christie, yes, Hudak,
Yes,
Gilman,
Yes.
carried. That was painless, eh? All right, here we go with the high tech. So last time I had to try to explain to you what they were trying to push on us. I mean, sell us. And I told him to spell it out this time. So read the first page. And there's two proposals here.
My only question is, since if we were to approve this, we're updating the thing. It's still on Angie's file cabinet on top of it, you know?
No, it's not, because what they're doing, it's currently on her desk.
Yes,
They want to put one in the ceiling in here and
okay,
one in the ceiling in the old hall.
okay, cause I didn't see that when
And-
I was reading it. I didn't
And
see
what that's
ceilings
going to
or
do
anything.
is give us big circle of Wi-Fi, so it'll be
Okay.
like this invisible tent of Wi-Fi
Okay.
to make
Yeah,
it.
cause it didn't say that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, I'm looking, I'm like, I don't see that.
Ask, what is ubiquity mean?
No, I don't pretend to know what half of this means, but yeah, that's why I just figured I put the,
Google is ubiquity.
I know, right? What my boys do all the time. Alexa.
Google lies to you half the time.
Oh, I know. Okay, so they would move something to there, so it's dealing with the wiring too and everything, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
And then the switch is the other thing. So they're saying we have a basic entry level unmanaged switch designed for home use.
Yeah, I didn't know what any of that meant. The switch. I got the wireless part a little bit, cause it's about
The switch
Wi-Fi.
is- You only have a certain number of ports that can handle a certain number of stuff. And have a basic one. This is what they're telling me, a basic one, and it's full.
Okay,
And so they want to put in a better one that has a bunch of open ports.
and is this being put in a different spot too? Is this what's on Angie's file cabinet too, or is this something else, or is it being moved, or?
I think they're just replacing the one that's sitting there.
Cause that's what I'm just worried about, you know, I'd rather not put the cart before the horse. If we're gonna do something, let's do it right.
Oh, I know what he said about that one. He said he was gonna put a shelf on the wall
Oh, I do remember that.
and put it on the shelf.
Cause he kind of came in. and
Right? Is
said
that what that's what he
did
said,
say,
right?
We can put a shelf and get everything up there, but he also said at the time, we need to get that. It shouldn't be that big.
So the switch,
Thing shouldn't be on my cabinet.
Doesn't stop the sound.
Well, I hope it stops the sound.
This
so
was.
the switch is a 24-port switch. And it's $1,741. And the Aruba Instant AP Dual Band 802 or wireless entry points is 1,071 that's with all the cables and dropping the new cable, running it out to where it's gotta go and all that.
Yeah, and I hope this gets rid of the noise because I have my speaker on my phone is how I said it'll go, but sometimes I can't hear people.
You should get some earbuds.
But it won't work with the phone. When I talk, when I'm on the phone with somebody.
No, I think they do. My
You
kid,
can on.
my kid's got one that he
You
wears. in
can on
there.
this phone, but not on the landline.
Then you just don't answer it.
So I do this stuff for a living. I'm happy to send you links to get this stuff brand new for a fraction of that cost. I'll even help you put it into the cost out there. If you guys want to save some money there, that's what I do. That 24-port switch for 24 a month is a lot.
Is it?
Lots. Yeah, I can get a switch like that for a really good state-of-the-art one for a few hundred bucks. And then you can buy aftermarket support. I can send you a few options.
Well, that'd be great.
Yeah, I'm happy.
You have to think too, though, when we have somebody do work in here, they have to have liability insurance.
I work for a company that can do it, but that's not one that's. I can send you, it's a cabinet, it's a noise canceling cabinet to solve her problem. You can put a switch in there. And I used to work for Aruba. I was an engineer for Aruba, so I can hook you up with the people that will do that for you close to cost. If you want, I'm happy to help rather than you guys spend that.
Well, I mean, we can always table it and wait and see if,
I'll send it to
what you send.
I'll send it to you, that's fine. That's what I would do, yeah. Can I
Or what
just
if
get
we
a copy
buy
of
the
that?
product separately and
Yeah.
then they just install it?
Yeah,
you know,
I
or-
can get you that.
I don't know.
And
You
then.
would love this.
We'll
You would
let
love if we
Brett
told
talk
them
to
that.
I have to ask,
Three
if
counts.
we buy this and we install it, are they going to service it? Cause you have to be careful of stuff like
You'll get
that.
it with support and service, absolutely.
But I mean.
No, like our
we're
IT
contracted
company,
with
'cause
our
we're contracted with
people.
them.
Like when I call and say my election laptop isn't working, they're gonna work on it. If I went and had somebody else work on it, does that void what they're gonna do? That's my only. worry. A lot of times they.
I don't see why it would. I mean, they have to work on stuff that they didn't sell us right now.
Right, right.
The switch is just a repeater, it's just, turns one signal into multiple signals in a route traffic. I'd say, yeah,
Imagine those cable days where you have one cable that went in for your cable TV, they had to split it in 5 different splitters or whatever it is on the side, you can plug in every TV in your house.
Yep,
That's.
that's what it is in the nowadays world.
Don't even pretend I know.
so.
Yeah,
I already saw that.
Excuse me?
It was a 24-port switch, and then what were the Aruba access points?
Here,
No, I'm gonna, maybe on this one. Shit, okay, I'll email it to you.
sure. All right, so let's just table that for now. So you guys good with that?
Yeah,
I mean, I'm always willing to look at any options.
Okay, while we're on,
So let's have a motion.
oh, okay.
I'll make a motion to table it.
I'll support.
Table for 1 month.
1 month.
And while we're here talking about that high tech, I have these 2 invoices that you just gave me yesterday. For the work that they already did.
That stuff they already did.
Yeah, I wanna know if we can pay it, so we can pay it in this budget. Like, can I write those checks like I'm doing for the recycling?
I think we should.
Yeah,
How-
because this
how much
one
are
is
they?
2523 and this one is 489.
So what's the total?
So. Brett, get your calculator out.
All right, let's see. How much was it?
2523. We're 489.
3,012.
3,012. Okay.
Well, they're gonna burn up that labor time, aren't they?
Oh, we didn't vote on the table and did we?
No, we're gonna in a second. I just wanted to write down what it was, 2 high-tech invoices for 3012, right?
Mhm.
So while you're at it, you're gonna look at some noise canceling thing you said?
Yeah, cabinet.
Okay.
So I'm assuming the switch is the one you switched. When you should go to cabinet, I'll send that.
But it's the server that makes the noise.
Show it to me. Let me take a look.
It looks like a
After the.
tower. This looks like a tower.
Okay, so it's just a tower. Okay. So I'll have to do that right.
Okay, okay, so we're tabling for 1 month, Christie, yes, Dudek,
Yes,
Duncan.
Yes.
Gilman.
Yes.
Berenger,
Yes.
motion carried. Okay. Now, the 2 high-tech invoices, let's have a motion, who wants to do that?
I'll make a motion to pay the 2 high-tech invoices right away.
Yeah,
Second,
I'll support.
okay, Keelman,
Yes.
Dudek,
yes,
Christie, yes, Duncan,
Yes.
Berenger. Carried. Okay. Next, I was asked some months ago to, see if I could find, if there was any planners that are interested in working for us. I contacted, since December, probably 50 of them. And over the time, they all expressed interest at first and then, well, maybe we're not gonna be a good fit, or I can't meet that number, or they all had their reasons, or we're too far away. So it ends up, it boiled down to the guy we got now, or these two others.
Planner,
Excuse me?
planner,
Plan.
planner, like a city planner or?
Planner, city planner. All right, so one is Wade Trim. And one is Carlisle Wortman. Carlisle Wortman incidentally gave a lot more detail about what they can do. And I like the idea. Maybe you guys don't, but that'll be determined. I like that they work by the hour instead of the monthly retainer. Because we're paying, I don't know, good amount of money every month, whether he comes or not. Whether he does anything or not, he gets paid every month. And if you look near the end of this one, you'll see is the rate sheet. I think
Yeah, it was like right at the end.
it's right, all right, like 3 pages in at the end is the rate sheet for 24, 25, and 26. And depending on whether the head guy comes all the way down to the community planner person. If you think about the hourly rate, depending on if their main job is trying to book hours or not, I think that this would be a good fit.
This guy's always a speaker at our workshops too.
Yeah, he's the guy that lives close by and.
Yeah, it says at the bottom of the fee sheet, we'll perform a yearly workshop on planning and zoning for the planning commission free of charge.
So we could
Yeah.
maybe they would come here and do it, and maybe we could actually get all the people to show up.
They'll be here. Yeah, we'll have free food or put some donuts out. Maybe they'll come.
So. He said, he was pretty easy to talk to too. He said, that he could come up with a monthly fee if we wanted to do that. He could prepare, a fee schedule for other work like, I don't know, site plan review and stuff.
Yeah, they didn't
But they-
include that.
No,
Yeah.
because they basically just go by the hourly
So they
rate.
do that for that too. Okay, because I was looking for
So
that.
my
Okay.
question is like, if we do that, how do we address that with a resident who needs a site plan? Are we going, normally we collect the money up front.
Well, here, this is what I told him. I asked that exact question. I said, right now, when we do, a plan review, I said, we have a issue of our, zoning guy says that he can do plan reviews, but it's my opinion that he can do plan reviews on new houses being built. But any commercial or businesses that are going in ought to be done a professional plan review by the planner. And he agreed with that. And he said that he could give us the amount ahead of time so that we could charge the people for it. So that, say, somebody comes in and they wanna do a dog kennel and they have to do a site plan for it. And then we would call ahead and say, this guy wants a site plan for this, how much? And he'll tell us 500 or 800 or whatever it is. And then we add that to the site plan review fee, charge customer, and then when the bill comes, we can pay it.
So another question I have is, and I don't think it was theirs that I read, because now I'm getting confused, because there's three. One of them said you could have people call, like I do have occasionally tell people to call Joe, because I feel like Tracy doesn't always want me to do that, but I think sometimes Joe needs to be the one that gives them the advice, not Tracy. But is this company the one that, or is it the other one that said the residents could call? I think it was the other one,
The first one I thought was
Well, that-
call anytime kind of thing.
not Joe. You mean?
Yeah, the first, the
first
wage
new
term
one.
one, yes.
Okay, that's what I
I
thought.
remember reading that, yeah.
So that's something I don't know. Like, cause if they call, we're gonna have to pay that. I mean.
Yeah,
We'll have to pay a fee. If we tell
Exactly,
Somebody to call
yeah.
and get advice. Or do they do like a pre,
she's saying like charging money, like if we're,
If they're charging money, then we're not letting people call direct,
okay.
unless we collect from them.
And the second question is then we would have to redo all our ordinance, cause everything says Giffords Webster. If we were to switch, are they gonna?
Would we have to
take
Cross it off.
Cross their name off and put
Right
your
on.
company,
off their name off of what?
all the ordinance stuff.
Off the books and stuff?
Yeah, well, like, cause they're the ones
That's
that,
no issue.
they're the ones that handle that. They're the ones that add the new
Ian's gonna
ordinance.
submit the whiteout thing and just white out all the stuff.
Well, that would be their job.
Well, that's what I'm
To
asking.
change
Or
that
are we-
stuff,
is
wouldn't
that
it?
good? I would assume they should, because that's what Joe wanted, a new ordinance, like, well, like when we passed that last ordinance, I sent the stuff to Joe,
Yeah.
had him publish it in the paper. Cause I don't do the publishing.
I don't wanna run Joe out the door necessarily, but I don't think he's irreplaceable, and I don't think that we ought to hedge on changing for reasons like that.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, could we find the answers to these questions? That's all because we don't have to make a decision today on this.
No, well, we have three choices. We can make a decision, we can keep the guy we got, or we can table it till next month. It doesn't matter.
I saw that the second group, they had City of St. Clair. Which was nice.
Wade Trim,
Nope, the
The-
third then, I think
Carlisle.
it's called third, yeah, the
Carlisle.
third one, they have City of. St.
yeah, they
Clair.
have some close ones.
Yes, they do have closer ones. The other places, I mean, when I looked at the differences of the prices, Wade Trim, the second one was a little cheaper than Giffords. I'm just
I
scared.
thought they were more. 'cause I
They were
thought
a tad
900
cheaper.
a month.
Yes, but for like the site plan review and all that, it was like all like $50 cheaper. Everything was just a tad cheaper than Giffords. The only thing I'm worried about is being hourly. What if it's like, oh, look, it's actually $1,000, you know, like sometimes
I mean, like,
it's a double-edged sword sometimes, yeah, so that's the only thing I'm worried about. But on the other hand, we've had stuff where we pay $850 a month to Giffords and we get nothing that month, and so
Every-
exactly. So
We had
I
6
just,
meetings last year
so that's how many
for
months,
$15,000.
exactly. Yeah, I'm just scared of, you know, what if hourly is actually the opposite and they actually.
Well,
It'd be
that's
nice to
something-
know what averages are for the site, site plan review. Oh, it's average 6 hours. Oh, okay. $600, so it's kind of within the ballpark
That's a good idea.
of things, just because to be more aware of things,
Yeah.
And not find out after we already approve them, so.
They should be able to give you a baseline.
You
They're
would,
doing it for multiple communities.
exactly. So it'd be nice to know
And they're
at
doing,
least what we're working with,
So if that's part of, what these guys would do, think about that.
on the St. Clair Inn,
St. Clair Inn, across the street,
That-
kitty corner.
that was the guy that owned the property. That was the developer.
If my point is, I wasn't sure. if
Just
that
in case,
has
no,
something to
yeah.
do with it or not.
Yeah, that was not the
Is it
planner.
connected?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was
No.
not the planner, that was the developer.
Oh, we got that.
Like, oh, look, it's cheaper, actually.
We don't have that kind of money to remove. Well, no.
I don't think the end result necessarily has to be cheaper, but it sure looks more economical looking at it. To do it with They're
10 grand a year for,
Huh?
for 10 grand a year, right, for Giffords now.
15.
No, it's eight, four,
840 a month.
40, okay.
It's $10,080 a year,
Yeah.
Okay.
unless we pay them a big chunk in the
And
front.
this,
Or
But
whatever.
there's others, they get other money too. Yeah.
probably 900.
Yeah, I'd be
The only,
curious.
the only thing, I can see the advantage of doing the hourly, because if we don't have a planning commission meeting, we're not paying anything. And you guys have been kind of like 2 months off, 1 month on type thing, so that would be a considerable savings, even if it was offset with a little higher cost somewhere else or something.
That's only been calling him if he has something to actually review.
Excuse me,
That's only been calling the meetings if we actually have something to review.
right?
Otherwise, he's just been putting them all. Do think we need to look at somebody else though, because Joe is not.
I know we've been saying that for years.
Yeah.
For sure. Yep, since the beginning. really.
Well, I've been a little disappointed when you call and you don't get an answer. I mean, ever since COVID, it's been kind of downhill.
I mean, look what just happened. Look what just happened tonight.
Yeah. He tells
Apparently, he told
her something different.
the resident something different than he just told me.
And
That was
they
in that
wrote down
letter.
on paper.
Yep.
too. That's a big thing.
So
Yeah.
when I ask him about it, he gives me a certain opinion. Then she calls and asks him about it. He gives her opinion she wants to hear.
Kind of like calling the
Probably because he
MTA.
found it, probably found it in there somewhere that it says it has to be continuous.
Well, then he shouldn't have wrote what he wrote if he didn't know what he was talking about.
It's not the first time he's got it.
Well, there's been issues. There's other things that didn't go correctly too. And then,
And for Giffords, I saw that it's only like a 30-day notice kind of thing, and we're not in
Right.
any type of contract, okay, of anything that's.
so. If you don't want, if you're uncomfortable to make a decision, then I need written questions to ask them so I can get you answers.
I don't, you guys wanna wait 1 month?
Yeah,
I don't,
Okay.
there's no hurry.
I wouldn't mind waiting a month, but on the other hand, we can't kick it down the road, we need
No,
to,
like a month.
you know,
But
we
I
need
think
to.
maybe to know an average of what they charge the township our size, just so we don't get high tech, right? I mean, that's not, that was a sweet deal until
Okay,
these
so-
started coming.
You moved to 20 hours.
So let me,
Coin that phrase.
let's get it in real quick. Average,
Like average yearly spend. For a comparable township.
And like the average, plan review. We don't get much rezoning, but
No,
our luck, we would get one, but I mean,
actually, yeah, actually, I had somebody ask about that.
rezoning, okay,
Maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago.
oh, yeah. They do stuff if you guys change things for planning commission, changing. Different things, just you put that in the paper and all that, I don't, does it involve?
Oh, I
you know,
want, yeah, I want to know if they're gonna maintain the ordinance books and do any ordinance changes. Are they updating the books? Because that's what Giffords Webster did, gave us the new pages
And how would they handle phone calls, consultations?
and then printing and publishing of like
Notices,
when there's a new ordinance, it will be published in the paper. I mean, he's been doing that. Just know if that's the
Are
case.
you guys are just wanting him to ask the second company, right, or the third?
Well, the third one's not as.
We're all interested more in the.
Carla.
Yeah, I'm on
Yep,
Carlisle.
okay.
That's good.
all right, so average yearly spent and comparable, review of site plans and rezoning. I wrote master plan review or rec plan review, what kind of money we would spend to do that. To maintain our code books. phone calls. Charges on that, right?
Yep.
Mhm.
And that would be us or residents, right?
Mhm.
And then, printing and publishing, how it's handled.
Right. While we're talking about that, I see this thing here, but, when he emailed everything, he emailed this annual report, but then did you see he emailed the, master plan,
What?
Joe?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
It said 2016, I think, on the cover, and I was reading, and it's supposed to be updated every 5 years.
Yep, and last time they looked at it, they just voted to not do anything with
Okay,
it.
but that's fine, but then if you're updating it,
Right,
your cover page.
He should have wrote an amendment in there, you're right, he should have wrote an amendment, he didn't. But I know it's pretty amazing that he would drop the ball.
Because I'm.
All right,
trying to
so
keep-
yeah,
Trying
next
to
thing,
keep this stuff more current, because like when I do my minutes for the planning commission, I'm keeping track if there's no meeting, because 20 years down the road and somebody's looking for minutes and say, hey, where were those? Well, now you know there's no meeting.
did
Well, now
somebody
you
make
know-
a motion on the table in this?
Okay, I'll make a motion to table.
I thought Brett.
Brett did?
I don't think I did.
All right, so Berenger to table for 1 month?
I'll support.
All right, Christie, yes. Fiddleman,
Yes.
Berenger,
Yes.
Dudek,
Yes.
Duncan,
Yes.
Gary. All right, so next is, the planning commission annual report. We just, a motion to, file. Unless there's something you want to talk about there.
I'll make a motion to file.
But he could have saved some paper and just wrote nothing happened.
Sticky note.
They approved the dog count.
So motion to file Berenger.
Mhm.
I'll support.
Okay, Christie, yes, Dudek,
Yes.
Duncan,
Yes.
Gilman,
Yes.
Berenger.
Yeah.
Carried. All right, heating and cooling maintenance plan for starts in September. I don't know why we have it today, but
And I asked her that last year. It's because she knows everybody's doing budgets and she sends this. So that if you're budgeting, you knew what it was.
so motion one way or another.
How much was it last year? Probably around the same
Yeah.
amount. I don't remember it being much different.
I'll make a motion to approve the Superior maintenance contract. $567.
Does the ductwork get clean?
Yep. They came at 8:15
Yeah.
and they left at 2.
Mike's not sneezing it.
Oh, my
I know,
God.
right?
All right, is there a
You
second
notice-
on
He
that?
said you're not
They
sneezing
said some
anymore.
of the ductwork was completely
Yeah,
plugged up.
Yeah,
They were, it was amazing, but no mess. They were,
I can breathe.
did a great
say,
job.
It's gotta be better.
Next to me.
Mike had to cover the vent by his chair because he was always coughing when it turned on.
I'll second.
Okay.
okay, Dudek,
Yes.
Christie, no. Duncan,
Yes.
Gilman,
Yes.
Berenger,
Yes.
carried. Okay. Am I right under duress on this one? cemetery work. So I don't think we're gonna approve anything here today, but, Mike did some research for us on that new section that's not being used by us, but the four-wheelers are using it for a dirt track and they've hauled in dirt to make hills to jump over. So, I think we need to fence that in. But I also heard that the person with the next property next to it wants to sell it. And they said, you know about that.
Who told you?
I did.
I have a little
Let's
note
just
right
say
here.
Birdie told
Who told you?
I had a copy of the survey. Only because, but it would change if they did end up selling it to us, because I feel like,
Where's the survey? Oh, here it is.
I feel that this. I thought we hadn't had a whole entire cemetery survey done, but apparently Pat just had that new section done in 2014. Because this is, Dave Little did that in 14, but this other one is from 93.
Mm.
What, this section here, the old one, the big one?
Yeah, the top one, that's an old one from.
All right, but that's what the lot we're talking
Right.
about.
Right, and this,
And the
no,
lot-
the part we we're talking about is this one here, this long narrow strip, it's. I think that's a 44. I think that's a 4. And it's,
All right, so what do you know about somebody wants to sell?
The gentleman that you talked to way back. That goes to Gratiot, that little hut in the front,
That's the piece they want to sell?
that's who, he says he's getting,
I thought somebody wanted to sell.
unless there's somebody else that a little birdie told you that
oh,
I
you're
don't know
talking
about.
about the one on the corner of
There,
Grant.
I was told
Yeah.
this piece right here next to our piece.
There's a house
Nope, I
there,
wasn't told that.
yeah, there's a house.
There is a house right there.
Garage and everything, because.
Yeah.
So somebody lives there?
Yeah,
Cause I noticed there's that little building and then the house is right.
All right, so
there, too.
this big piece is the cemetery that we're working with
Correct.
right now.
Mhm,
Correct.
So the other piece is where? Out by the road.
This right here, I
Yeah,
thought,
this is it.
see, that's the house and the little hut thing is right somewhere over here. I don't know what to call it, but the little building.
And what does he want?
He wants to see what we're willing to pay. He says he said last time Pat just said you can donate it to us and he was like. "Wah, wah, wah," you know,
But he did give a price one time and it was very.
He told me he never gave a price, never, so.
Okay, so do we even know how big it is or anything? Can
I
can
wanna
you
know
pull
if you
up
guys
a
even,
field sheet on it?
I could do that, yeah.
It's-
I didn't wanna know if you're even interested. He said he says once he's looking to get something over with, he's either gonna sell it, he's gonna put something on there, he's gonna do
I
something.
don't think it's a buildable lot.
No, but it would connect to
Yeah.
the
I know,
graveyard.
but I'm saying he's telling Phoebe he's gonna build it, not buildable.
I don't know. Of course, I didn't write his name down. I have his phone number.
Well,
I'll have to look it up.
I'd say get some
Is it
information.
the one right on the corner?
It's
Yeah.
that, yeah,
Got the little green
it's that
house.
little tiny.
That the
yeah.
rabbits live in.
Oh, it's this one.
Yeah, but he says he's willing to work with us and try to get something worked out, cause it would be very,
You
it
can't
would
do
be,
anything with it.
you know, for us to jump on it, you know.
Yeah, I'm thinking really
That's
cheap.
It's 0.9995 acres.
So almost an acre.
Okay, okay.
So,
So he's been paying taxes on it for 20 years and boo, 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 you know, so.
right, well, land's
Yeah.
only worth like 5,000 an acre, so.
Wow.
Well, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't know
I
what,
think the thing.
especially a non-buildable lot that you're
I
landlocked, what do you
Give
do
his
with it?
number, talk to Sess first and have Sess give you a guesstimate of what he thinks it's.
Cause I asked him like, well, what do you want me to tell them for money? Oh, see what they wanna pay. And I'm like,
Okay, well.
no, I'm just being
get
the middleman.
paperwork from Seth, We'll discuss it, and we'll bring it back.
Okay, I will.
All right, and I got somebody else giving us an estimate on doing some fence work there also. So if we did it in split rail and did a U, like the little piece on Big Hand, and then all the way down Werner, and then back up to our fence that we got and put a gate in it. A split rail is gonna be like $6,000. And that would be if we installed it with our super duper maintenance man and office manager.
I'm like, yeah.
So,
Got a free upgrade, Mike.
So while, so while we're
You're not supposed to
Yeah.
be here. We're supposed to volunteer you.
while we're talking about that, you know, that shed there is nobody using it for anything. Is it worth even leaving it up there?
It's full of lawnmowers and stuff.
It still is? And
Yeah.
then what about the little?
Somebody, I forget who went in there just recently and there was like 20 lawnmowers.
Me, I did, I
Oh,
went
I
in there.
thought we
and there
got
was-
rid of those.
I gave you
No,
a
it's all
list, I
there.
can't remember,
Well, what
there's
about-
gotta be 15 or 20 lawnmowers in there.
So if we ever have a grass cutting party,
Yeah, well, and the other thing is, how about that, the old little building? We should maybe try to restore that so it doesn't disintegrate. You know, it's kind of a cool historic little building. I don't know how,
turn it into a mausoleum.
no, but I mean, it would.
What was that for?
I think in the old days, that's where they kept their grave digging tools. Basically, that's all it was, because,
Double.
you know, they shoveled them, yeah, so. But, it would be a nice idea to fix it up.
Or at least paint it.
So I have
Well, that's what I'm
another
thinking.
estimate coming on
Yeah.
fencing anyhow. And I thought I'd have that by now and I didn't. So
What was that, what you did then?
I said that I have another estimate
Oh,
on
yeah.
fencing coming, but I didn't get it yet. I thought I'd have it by now, so.
And the,
Tree cutting.
Tree cutting.
yeah.
And the tree cutting estimate didn't come, and, I didn't get any estimates on the park yet. I'm still working on that. People are just slow to give you prices on stuff.
I'm keeping track of how long we are without park lights.
So the park lights, I talked to them today
Give us.
on the park lights. They said they're gonna have to dig them all back up and put bases under them. Probably have to run all new wiring.
Oh, my
He
goodness.
boo-hooed to me, but he said that they paid a contractor to put them in and they never went and inspected them. And it's not our fault and it's not their fault, but they're gonna take care of it. I said,
Wow.
well, of course, they're gonna take care of it.
Good on that part.
So, I mean, that was their whole selling point of pay us to do this and whatever happens to them, it's our responsibility. So I think that goes without saying, they're paying for it.
Well, at least we got something work out for us, you know,
Yeah.
for once.
So is there anything else? I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll support.
Nine 46. All in favor?
Bye.
Aye. Opposed? Carried. Goodbye, whoever you are left down there.